Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Captain Shaq here, and welcome back to Star Wars LU, a fantastic overhaul mod for, well, X3 Albion Prelude, combined with the Lit Cube mod. So Star Wars LU does kind of what you think it does. It's a complete overhaul that brings X3 into the Star Wars universe. Now today we're gonna have a little bit of fun. We're gonna poke around and check out all the different starts. So if you're starting a new campaign and you're playing with the latest version as of this video, 1.2.8, there's a lot of new starts in here that change how you kind of see the game and where you're starting from, and that makes a big difference. Particularly, you know, as you're getting like those early hours into the game, what it's going to be like for you. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to new game here, and I'm just going to kind of flip through these real quick. The one that I've decided to start playing, and we've been streaming this over on Twitch/Captain Shaq, is the Rebel Cell Leader start. This gives you basically a mining operation, a mining base. You get a blockade runner. We're gonna load up my save from that. Now, when you use that save, if you decide to go the route that I'm taking, when you first load it up, you're gonna be inside a satellite, and you're not gonna have any control. And that's because the script has to populate a bunch of things, because you're actually getting a space station and a mining fleet to kind of get you started. So you get a little bit of economy as this opening, let's go ahead and go to continue game here, as this opening Rebel Cell. You're the leader of a wing of X-Wings. You get a blockade runner in there, so some really cool stuff. You guys can't see it right now. It's probably a blank screen for the recording because for whatever reason, the loading screenshots are not captured by the software that I use to record my videos, so do not adjust your sets. But there's a ton of starts, and if you've never played X3, there's our game right there. There's our blockade runner. If you've never played X3, it is a massive universe with tons of different factions, an active economy, and you can kind of play the way you want to. Some people will tell you that there's a right and a wrong way to play. I think that's kind of bullshit, but let's go ahead and turn this on. We'll turn on my UI. So we're on the bridge of my blockade runner here, and this is one of the starting ships that you'll get. You're probably gonna wanna use as like your command ship as you're moving around. I've got the wing of X-Wings that we start with. I'll even click one here and switch the target over to it. So you actually get a nice wing, and what's cool about the start is when you get a wing of X-Wings, you also get a little bit of combat right away, as the start has you engaging, about 10 minutes into it, a Gazanti, Imperial Gazanti transport, I think. Or it might have been it was a patrol cruiser. It might have been a Tartan patrol cruiser, and a wing of TIE fighters. So if you wanna start, that'll get you right into combat and right into kind of like commanding a small battle group. And you've got a little bit of experience in X3, and I recommend having some experience on how to control those units. And don't do this as a fresh start. Then yeah, you can jump in here and give it a go and get right into combat and kind of get a feel for it, but it's not a bad start. You actually get 2 hammerheads as well. Let me switch over to one of these guys, and you'll recognize this. The hammerhead, this is the Rebel, kind of the Rebel Alliance variant, right? It's actually a civilian gunship, but you'll recognize this from like probably Star Wars Rebels or some of the newer lore. I really like this one. This is not the big cruiser variant from the Old Republic, which by the way is in this because they've got like ship collectors in this, so you can get all your Old Republic ships and Mandalorian ships, and you've got the Separatists and the Empire and the Rebels and the there's just so many factions and so much cool stuff in here. So if you can think about like what kind of leader you want to be, you can probably pull it off and build that fleet. All right, you're gonna notice there's not a lot of Star Wars music going on in the background. It's because I'm using Epidemic to play. Don't want to get slapped around by ye old YouTube. Okay, so there's our fleet. We get a couple of blockade. We got a blockade runner, 2 hammerheads, a wing of fighters in this start. It's not a bad start. You also get with this start a couple of Gazanti transports, one of which in the campaign, spoiler alert, I've already lost. Yeah, which is a little hilarious. And you get, let me pop this open. You get a 1 defense platform, and they all start, let me open up my map. You won't have this explored when you get in, but they all start in unknown sector Epsilon. Here's where all of our assets are right here, and our miners are out there. They give you a small mining fleet. It's not a bad start if you want to have like an economic start, but you don't want to do any trading. You want to go right into having like a small company. Now, this is not the one that I recommend for new players because of how much is just going on. And you're gonna probably wanna learn how like the flight controls work and how to manipulate these menus, because you notice I'm doing a lot of keyboard work here. So let's bounce out of there and look at some of the other starts, some of the more interesting ones. And there's some fun ones like having a criminal background lost behind enemy lines kind of deal, or running as a smuggler. Pop in here. Running as a smuggler, you start carrying valuable and illegal blasters aboard your trusty YT-2400. Oh, you get a 24 instead of the 13, nice. So the 24 is actually kind of cool ship. Let's just load that one up. Now, when they say illegal goods are only illegal in some sectors. Different factions have different settings for legality, and I don't know who considers blasters illegal blasters. Probably something like disruptor weapons in the lore, you'd imagine. Because normal blasters wouldn't be illegal unless you're not licensed for them. But straight up disruptor weapons, even the Empire has those outlawed in this time period. Once again, loading screens don't show up, but here's the 2400-Rendar's ship. Oh man, this has gotten a bit of an enhancement. Interesting. Oh, it looks cool. Looks very cool. Let's bring up the throttle so we can see the engines glow a bit. If they have a glow effect, and they do. Nice. And you're gonna get your set quad weapons. Are they quad weapons forward, or are they actually turrets? Looks like they're quad weapons forward. I don't think this thing has any. Oh, it does get the turrets. Oh, cool. Oh, they don't animate. Sad times. I was kind of hoping they would turn. Some of the ships have animated turrets now, and some of them don't. Like, they haven't been updated yet, but still very cool. Decent speed. 100 meters a second isn't amazing. It is a freighter, though. And I bet you this isn't actually maxed out. What is your max? 130 if you went and paid for the upgrades. So, not super fast, but not incredibly slow. I mean, it's a little bit faster than... I actually don't remember what the YT 1300 is. You know, there was a Falcon variant, and it still is in the game. It's actually quite fast. But you start off with anything else? No, you start off with just the YT. You have a freight filled with disruptor rifles. So when they said blasters, they actually did mean disruptor rifles. I love it. Fits with the lore so well. So you're not going to want to go through like Imperial territory or some of the other regions. You don't want to get scanned. Disruptor rifles are a special type of sidearm which will break the individual molecular bonds. They are probably incredibly valuable. Yeah, they go for 33,000 a pop. Now, notice that we don't have any places to sell them on this list, and that's because I'm guessing we don't have anything explored. Yeah, we're in the Rebel Alliance sector. We've got a cargo bay full of illegal goods, and now we've got to try to find a place to sell them. And we probably need to find like a pirate outpost or something. As you explore, though, it will start. Let me go back into F for my freight. We will start populating that list. We go under here. No, under here, and then info. It will populate a list under here of all the places that you could potentially sell it and what they go for. Still, kind of a cool start. You can get a little bit of money. Let's see, starting fundage on this start is only 86,000 credits, so, oof, we even...
Jump drive not installed.
Oh god, we don't even get a hyperdrive either, so you're gonna be slow boating it, trying not to get blasted. Interesting. All right, let's bounce out of here. It's kind of a cool start, though. And you start in Rebel territory, and it looks like you start at the Rebel Alliance sector, so that's gonna be more or less in the middle of the map. New game. So we've got Ships Gallery, by the way, is just a testing save. If you want to get in and take a look at some of the ships that are in the game, you can pop in there, you get infinite credits, just kind of a mess around sandbox. It's not something I would recommend a new player doing. Smuggler, we already took a look at. Rebel Recruit, if this is the one I actually do recommend players, new players jump into, because this is the one that starts you off in an X-Wing. Unless he's changed it to something like a Z95. It used to start you off in an X-Wing. And you guys can't see the loading screen right now, but for me, it's a battle with a blockade runner and a bunch of Nebulon bays. I don't know why it doesn't get captured. But anyways, the X-Wing that you used to start with, I think it had the boost drive on it. So unlike all the NPC ships, it's actually a mod that's been added to the game where it lets you go stupid fast, pushing your maximum speed to like 2 times what it normally is. And it is a prototype X-Wing, so you're doing 264. Compare that, I just drop the speed to maximum. But compare that kind of speed to the 2400 we just looked at, that freighter, and you're doing over twice that speed that freighter's capable of. So, and of course you start off with the 410 Falks, or no, the KX-10s is what the X-Wing uses. So very cool, very cool. In this game, they're called high energy plasma throwers. Probably that is the name of the default weapon. I'm guessing it was just easier not to rename all weapons, but... So this is a cool start. You don't start with anything else, but you do get a really sweet X-Wing. You do start off in, actually you start off in Rebel Sector M148, so you're actually starting in the original Warzone start for the Argonne in the base game. So that means that there's probably gonna be, this should be somewhere near the front line against the Empire, if I remember correctly. And that means you're gonna be able to get right into combat. So if you wanna do a lot of turning and burning, and you wanna do some dogfights in your early game, and you wanna build up your military stat and your combat stats, and you wanna build up your money doing missions, then this may be the way to go, for sure. And you get a sweet prototype X-Wing. So, I mean, why not? Maybe go buy some missiles, because it doesn't look like you start off with any missiles. Oh, you get some Tempests. All right, you get some Tempest. Huh, cool. So there you go. There's your Rebel combat start. Now maybe you're feeling a little bit more Imperial for your start, and that you dream of one day captaining something like a Star Destroyer. Well, there's some cool shit in here. Let's scroll down. Let's see. What are the kind of going with a theme here? God, there's a lot of starts now. He's made so many of these. There's a Mandalorian arms dealer start now, and a Mandalorian outcast. There's 2 Mando starts. There are 1 ambitious scrapper, clone commando, Republic senator, Republic holdout. So there's like, what, 4 of these? 5 Republic ones. Empire's finest. All right, so we went Rebel, and we took a look at what those were. Let me just go back real quick and see if there are any other Rebel starts. The Cell was the one with the mine. Recruit was the X-Wing. Smuggler was with the Disruptor rifles. Interesting that they would, I wonder if the Rebels would come after you if they did a scan and found those Disruptor rifles. They should be illegal even for the Rebel Alliance. Jedi Survivor. So this is a start that obviously is taking place during the Galactic Civil War. Due to being undercover in Separatist space, you have survived Order 66 with nothing left but lots of enemies. And lots of enemies. You must find new allies if you're to survive. Now, I bet you're starting out behind enemy lines, right? You're probably starting down in the Jedi sector near the south, like the southern border. I actually started my base in the last campaign in there as the Rebels. And you start off with oh, good grief. Oh yeah, a Delta 7. It's got to be crazy speed, right? Okay, yeah, base speed. Remember the X-Wing? We're just going to go up higher and higher in speed ranges. So this is an interceptor class. And you're talking 539 base speed. But you're behind enemy lines, and we're already being shot at by... We're dead. We were unprepared. Okay, I was not expecting to get blasted right away. So literally 10 seconds after you load that save, be ready. We have to load that again. Hang on. We have to load that again and see if it's even... what was that? That was all the way at the top. That was the Jedi Survivor. Like, what do you get? Obviously, you get a cool ship with a crazy speed, and it looked like we got nailed by anti-capital ship weapons. Somebody's heavy turrets fired at us. So if we just turn, we should be able to dodge those. A little concerned about the incoming missile. So let's just look around. That is an enemy weapons platform right there. It is a Separatist one. Ignore Joanne. We're gonna immediately start kind of turning away. Yep, there's the shots. So I'm kind of doing this from this perspective so we can kind of get an angle and you guys can see what's going on. We want to get some more fire. Oh, it's already out of firing range. But its weapon system with its missiles are not. Incoming Banshee. That Banshee is doing a maximum speed of 246 meters a second, and we are doing twice that. So good luck, sucker. We are out of here. But that being said, what is that?
Paranid weapon transporter.
We got a weapon transporter, one of the Separatist shuttlecraft. We've got a Mimban fighter. Weird. I mean, I guess that would be a Separatist ship, wouldn't it? That would be one of the Separatist Alliance ships. Interesting. What kind of money do you start with on this start? Is it super hard? 5,000 credits. Okay. You get a jump drive?
Jump drive.
Nope.
Not installed.
You get no money. You get no credits.
Incoming message.
You get... Oh boy, let's see. Standings. We have -5 standing to the Republic. High treason. -5. So the Republic, which is, why would it be the Republic -5? Wouldn't the Republic like you and the Empire hate you? Interesting. But apparently that the Separatists and the Republic hate your guts with this start. Not the Empire or anything else. That's a weird one. Why Republic? I don't understand. I mean, now some of you are gonna be like, well, Shaq, at this point in time, the Republic would be the Empire. Well, in X3, to include all of the factions and to have them all kind of fighting at one time, all the factions exist on the stage, right? They're all there. Oh, there's the Jedi Order. Okay, so I bet once you get there, you're gonna find a faction that actually likes you. And as you explore, you'll see more of the factions as you play. But there's one of the starts.
Banshee
that
missile.
is
Banshee
nuts for a start. Oh, no way, not for me. Not for me. Still a pretty crazy one, though. All right, so what other new games do we have? Well, we've talked about the Rebels, we talked about the Jedi Survivor. This isn't actually a start necessarily. This is an import. So if you have a save of an older version of X3, then you're going to use this one to import that save and allow you to update. It's actually something quite clever, made by LitCube, to allow you to bring saves from older versions of LU into newer versions. So that's really neat. We've used it a few times to try to bring our saves across. What else we got? Wealthy Separatist. This one looks like you get a bit of a fleet. You get an M7 and 4 M5. So you get a larger ship with an escort. Your vast wealth and connections to the Trade Federation have allowed you to set out on a new life with a massive head start. I'm guessing this is a very easy start. You're gonna have a big chunk of cash in your bank account, as well as an M7. Let's load up and find out. Now, one of the more irritating things about the X series is the way that they categorize ships. I've complained about this before, and oh, you start with a frigate. You start with a Separatist, yeah, frigate. Nice, munificent. So you get this with some serious weaponry, don't you? Yes, it's got its big cannons on the front. Nice. Very cool. So these are, yeah, photon pulse cannons. What do we get? And we get a bunch of vulture droids. Are they launched? Yes, they are. It's a very dark sector, a little hard to see, so I apologize for that. But it looks like they're actually on their way back. And I don't know. I'm assuming a frigate can dock up a few fighters, right? Yeah, it looks like he's actually docking. We'll use Sita, and we'll let him speed up time. Look, you can see the cannons that this ship has underneath it. So it's even lore accurate. All the weapons mounted on the bottom of the ship, where the armor plating is on the top. So positioning on this ship's gonna matter a bit. I wonder if it does have any fire. Is this where it docks? Oh, yes, it is, because there's one of the other ones. Nice. And does it come with a jump drive?
Not installed.
No, it does not come with a jump drive. No hyperdrive. But I bet you 20 million credits. So if you want to play as like a Baron of the Separatist Alliance, this wouldn't actually be a bad start. 20 million credits is enough to get you started with the economy. It does look like you start in an area with a pirate base. Oh, this is a new addition, by the way, to the newest version 3.9. Anybody recognize this? Let me know in the comments if you know what game this is from. And if you just had a big nostalgia ping when you saw it. I think it has a custom texture on it, too. And then there's the little docking rings that have been attached that are from the X series. But anywho, I'm real curious. What's your max speed? Well, it's got a real slow acceleration. 88 meters a second. You're not going to go anywhere fast, but you do have a decent amount of firepower. Not bad, not bad. All right, let's go and have a poke at some of the other starts. Let's see. I'm really enjoying having my little rebel cell in their own little piece of territory with the mining operation going to get us started. It kind of fit with where we left off with the first campaign before I broke my save. So a few other ones. Wealthy Separatist, the one we just looked at. Self-aware droid. This is an unstable one. I wonder why. You get a tri-fighter hacked with hyper intelligence. So you're an AI. Your intentions are not clear. You can do whatever you want in the galaxy. You do start as Paranid, which means you start off as a Separatist. Obviously, you're a droid. And you start with an M5. I'm not going to load this one up because it says unstable, so obviously wouldn't recommend it. Resistance Squadron. So this is going to be the new timeline. This is going to be the Disney timeline. Interesting. Or if you're playing kind of a mix, maybe a Imperial Warlord timeline as the Resistance kind of starts kicking off. Interesting. Gone are easy. You get 7 M4s. Lead a squadron of Resistance fighters in the fight against the First Order. Now, what I'm guessing, and even if you don't like the Disney timeline, I know some people have a real hard-on for hating that some of the new stuff. Whatever, you do you. The X-Wings, I'm betting, are those sweet-looking new variants with the... Yep, yes, they are. I actually really like the intakes on these. I like how the wings come together. This is one of the cooler things. I mean, you can cherry pick the stuff you love out of the new movies, and I say the new version of the X-Wing to have an updated version, way cooler than the E-Wing. But, and you get a wing. So if you want to start with an X-Wing wing, Blue Squadron, maybe you've gotten this shipment of brand new T-70s, and you wanna have that as like your main fighter wing that you start with as you build your fleet up. There you go. Sweet. Xenon Architect's probably like, stop telling people to be invested in their fighters. This is lit cubes. You lose fighters all the time. It's just how it is. Well, yeah, it's also Star Wars though. Being invested in your units is kind of part of the fun. All right, new game. Let's see. We got Self-Aware Droid, Resistance Squadron, Old Republic Enthusiast. Oh, I remember this one. So this one's a freaking awesome one. If you're a big fan of, I wish you guys could see the loading screens. The Ghost right now is on my screen. One of the better ship inclusions to the new Disney lore. One thing that the new Disney lore has added a lot of that I do really love is the new ships, particularly the Rogue One capital ship at the end of the movie. You guys know the one I'm talking about, which has kind of been lored defined as some kind of like torpedo boat. Very awesome. Anyways, you guys are gonna recognize this if you're a SWTOR fan. Yeah, these are all the SWTOR ships. There are at least 3 of them. Let me see. Yeah, you start with 3 of them. So the Thunderclap, the Mantis, and then the XS Freighter. And if I remember right, the Thunderclap, forgive me, I haven't played a lot of SWTOR. This is probably, I think this is the only one I really recognize. This is the one the Commando gets. And it's pretty legit. It's a gunship. It's a heavily armored, highly advanced gunship. Now, the idea behind these being in this universe alongside the Rebellion and the Empire is that there are ship collectors and there are companies that are making quote-unquote classic ships with updated systems to be in line with what's out today. Now, you know, you could see that as like a classic car manufacturer going back and making some of their old, in this case, really old designs. So if you're looking for a start with some really cool freighters,
Incoming message.
I mean, what is this? What you guys can tell me in the comments. The Mantis, is this the Bounty Hunter one? And the only reason that I'm guessing this is the Bounty Hunter one is because it looks like a slightly large version. Slightly large. It looks about 4 times the size of Slave One. It has kind of the same silhouette design. And I could definitely see them taking inspiration from Slave One to make that for SWTOR. And then this one, I'm gonna say Smuggler's Ship because it kind of looks like a modified version of a YT-1300. It has the same silhouette. So it actually looks really cool though. I dig that one. I dig that one. It's like the same one, but it has the bridge in the front maybe. Those look like windows. I don't know. But it's a neat start. Let's see what kind of cash you start with. You do start with 1 million credits, not over the top, nothing too crazy. And you start off in Old Republic territory, which who knows where that actually is on the grand map. Now there is, if you install this mod, a map provided that you can look in the zip file.
Message.
I recommend not looking at it, truthfully. Some people are gonna be like, no, you have to look at it. I recommend not looking at it and just enjoy the exploration and the discovery, especially when you're looking for some shipyards. If you have a certain idea in your head for the fleet you want to build in the game kind of campaign that you want to progress in, then all right, you might want to look and see where the rebels, you know, where their shipyard is, so you can start buying those A-wings that you really want, or those B-wings, or maybe you really got a hard on for some Imperial ships and you want to run over there and do that. Then you might want to look at the map. But for the most part, it's a lot of fun to come across sectors, especially new ones and custom ones that the mod author has put in, and discover them for the first time. There are some really unique ones, I will say, that have been added. All right, what else we got for new games? New games for building your empire. Old Republic, Reborn Sith. You've been hidden away for thousands of years in your temple before being revived by the dark side of the Force. With still functioning ship, you set out to dominate the universe. I don't remember ever loading this one up. We might have during a stream when we messed around with this. Oh man, there's the ship I was talking about. And I cannot think of the name of it to save my life. I know the remake mod likes to use that Rebel Rogue One capital ship. Oh, freaking sweet. X-70B Phantom. I'm gonna assume this is, ooh, that sound effect. I'm gonna assume this is the, I don't know, probably a ship from one of SWTOR, I'm guessing. Probably as maybe the Inquisitor or the whatever the other one was. I don't remember off the top of my head. But this thing almost looks like something designed from Origin from Star Citizen. It's very sleek. Sith warships brought to you by Apple. I like it though. What's the freight size on this thing? Can you actually haul anything with it? Let's look at the info for the ship. So you get 200 megajoule shields times 4. You get a ton of weapon systems for forward firing. You can wreck some face with this. Max speed 150. All right. Not
Incoming
too
message.
crazy. Decent weapon selection and lots of compatible missiles. Yeah, fairly high tech. Nice. Oh, money. 1,000 credits, so you're not exactly rolling in it. And you do start out in an unknown sector. Unknown sector Delta. So you can go on a quest to annihilate the Jedi Order and let the dark side reign supreme throughout the galaxy if that's something you want to do. With that start, I don't know what I would do if I was gonna play as a Sith. I would want probably like a droid army. Probably go over and hit up the Separatists, and then probably buy a bunch of Mandalorian ships as well, as like hiring, mercenaries to do my dirty work. There's a lot of fun you can be had, or maybe you side with the Empire and overthrow the Emperor and start having your swarms of TIE fighters, In Lit Cubes, by the way, if you're playing this mod, because Lit Cube is the default kind of standard mod that this is built on top of, fighter squadrons become really useful. They don't crash into each other, they don't crash into other ships because of the bounce script, and numbers matter. You can really have these big squadrons of throwaway ships, like 20 TIE fighters in the base game would never work because they just kill themselves without ever doing anything fun. But in this, 20 TIE fighters can get a lot of work done. All right, so let's see. We checked out the Republic's Reborn Sith, Black Sun Outlaw. Now, it says unstable. After being nearly destroyed by the efforts of all major galactic governments, your recent theft of a high-valued medical transport has given the Black Sun organization hope to rebuild and recover. Let's check it out. It does say unstable, so I probably wouldn't recommend this one. But I mean, the idea of having a start where you start in the positives with the pirates, which is not something that I think any of the other starts get, could be pretty cool because they do have space stations. And in this version, I think, I'm trying to remember the patch notes. We're waiting for it to load right now. In this version, selling captured individuals to those space stations as slaves is a way of making money. I think they've upped the amount. Really, this is the medical transport? I was thinking Nebulon B, but instead it's a Nova class. Many of you will recognize this from Star Wars Galaxies. This was the multi-person ship that you could earn as a Rebel faction member, and all of your friends could come on board and they could captain it with you. It's actually one of the cooler little, I wouldn't even say this is a frigate. This is more like just a Corvette, but quite cool. Quite cool ship. And this is a pirate start, so 50,000 credits. And you start with plus 10 Shadow Collective Leader. Not only do you start with ranks in pirate standing, you start out as the damn leader. You're maxed out. Wow. Huh. Interesting. Okay, cool. Very cool. That would be a weird start. That would be a very weird start. Oh, I think the game just crashed. Remember how we said it was unstable? Well, there you go. Game totally just crashed on us. So, again, it does say unstable for a reason. Not recommended. It totally crashed. All right, so go back to new game now that we've reloaded. The last one we checked out was, whoa, that's loud. The last one we checked out was the Black Sun, the galaxy's most wanted. So now you go from Black Sun to the Zan Consortium. Difficulty extreme. With the collapse of the Zan Consortium after being defeated by the hands of both the Rebels and the Empire, the entire galaxy is out to finish you off. This has a real Empire War vibe to it, doesn't it? With the Rebels and the Empire having knocked you around a bit. The entire galaxy is out to finish you off. You must find a way to rebuild or make peace with the galaxy. Making peace would be a pain, because I bet you start with a substantially lower faction standing with everyone. So you'd have to grind that standing back up. And the only way to do that... Let me know in the comments what you guys think the best way to bring your standing up when you're in the red to the point where they're just attacking you. I would think, you'd have to fight pirates, I guess, or fight their enemies. One of the... Oh, and you start with a skip ray. You start with some weird ships. You start with a pirate Star Viper, which... it's a weird looking boat. You start with a pirate Delta 7, and then yourself you get a skip ray, which should have a rear turret, and then forward firing guns. Decent firepower. I like the sounds for that. That's pretty great. Yeah, this mod rebalances all of the weapons, so all the ranges are a little bit more interesting, a little bit better for fleet combat, and to look cooler. And then all the weapons have had their own like sound effects added. All right, well there you. Let's see the damage. Let's see how hard would this be. All right, you do get 100 million. So I guess as you were getting your ass kicked by the Empire and the Rebel Alliance, you were like, let me just empty all of the bank accounts and run. So you end up with 100 million credits on hand. Do you start with any resources? Oh yes, you do. You get a Neutron Star bulk cruiser, the biggest, one of the slowest freighters out there, but it can hold a ton, and it's considered. This is big enough to hold a space station. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, you can hold station containers in it. Because it's a, what's the classification for it? Like a TL, I think. All right, let's bounce out of there. There is a script in the works. I saw it over on the Discord that the mod author is testing that allows you to basically use large ships like that as a base of operations that can chew through, I guess, resources, do some minor production of stuff like missiles if you buy the certain modules, repair ships. So I love that idea. Having your fleet is completely mobile. It's quite a cool concept, especially from a narrative standpoint. All right, new game. So we've gone through 2 criminal organizations. Zand Consortium. Wait. Black Sun, Zand Consortium. New Republic start. 3 transports? With the Galactic Civil War a distant memory, the galaxy is now safe enough to start your mobile mining business. And you start with 3 TSs. What? Oh, that's a good shot. What TSs would they be? TSs are, they're your basic transports. So if you're doing like early games station trading, you might see something like a LAT would be a TS. What would be a bit more? Oh no, it's the Hero GR75. Oh, you get. Okay, yeah, you literally start with a little mining operation. So you get your transport, the GR75, the hero ship of the Rebel Alliance. Don't leave your fleet without it. And then you get the Y7s or Y8s, excuse me.
Minor.
These Y8s aren't bad. They got decent cargo bays, and they have way more. Let's see, do I have a transport? Oh, come on. They don't give you a transporter? Ouch. That means you're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way and dock up and switch ships or get out. But what's cool about these, let me eject. Shift E to eject, by the way. If we pop into this guy, look at how many mining lasers it gets. And you compare this to something like E-Wing Miner, which is the cheap Rebel Miner. I think it only gets like 2 mining lasers versus, that. You can blast off all of these. So this will mine a lot faster. It doesn't move around very quickly, but you could imagine sending these guys off to mine. And I bet you, if we go to C on command, so we're giving this guy over here in the back of command. C, and we go to special, and we tell him to mine. Yeah, he starts with all of the software and gear and equipment to go and do some mining. Go ahead and mine in the sector.
Accepted.
And we started off in the New Republic sector. So you'll have access to those ships. I wonder, how much money? 100,000 credits. And what's our faction standing? +3 ranks in New Republic, so not too bad. Not too bad. Did we just give him orders to mine? Oh, I bet we don't have a... Yeah, there's no asteroids in this sector.
Incoming message.
You can't mine what ain't there. I can't build there. There's something in the way. Let's bounce out of here. Oh, man, some of these screenshots. I wish you guys could see them when they're reloading with the battles. That one in particular was an ISD just wrecking face. Okay. You guys may actually notice the new space station that's in this version in the background of the menu. I'm sure some of you can guess what game that is from, particularly if you watch anything on my channel here. All right, so let's go, not continue. Let's go new, because we're getting into the cool stuff now. We're getting into some of the weirder ones, like, let's see, we got Prospectors. The one we just looked at. Deluded Scoundrel. You gambled everything away and stole the ship to finally get your hands on a legendary treasure map you've been seeking your whole life. What? How does... Legendary treasure map, how does that work? I wonder if it's like you get an explored sector and in it is a abandoned ship or something. That'd be cool. Because there are ships, and the monitor has said he's scattered out new stuff to find in different versions. So, oh god, you get a quad jumper. Oh no. Oh, not exactly the finest vessel. Anything in your inventory? A really crappy shield. You get 2 MJs, or two 5 megajoule shields. Word speak, can't talk. You only get 1 advanced satellite to deploy as you scout. Oh boy, but let me see. Is there, what's this treasure map? Aw, disappoint. Bummer. So what I was hoping for, because of the description of a treasure map, was that you'd get a like a map marker in the galaxy. So maybe you'd have like one sector explored off in the middle of nowhere, and it's where a hidden, maybe abandoned ship is that you can't get anywhere else, right? So you're after that ship to get yourself started, and that's your treasure, or something. Maybe you know, a few million.
Incoming message.
Oh, game start initialization. Deluded scoundrel. What did it do? Hello, deluded scoundrel. Yeah, let's see. Each faction has special Star Wars sectors where you can find OTOS ships selling Star Wars ships. All other shipyards sell regular Lit Cube ships. Oh, here we go. Nobody believed it was real. Nobody wanted to join you in your hunt. But finally, after searching desperately across the galaxy and making many enemies in the process, you have obtained the treasure map. According to its ancient markings, it points you towards 3 worlds. Getsu. Oh, that cool. The journey will be a difficult one due to your tarnished reputation. Ah, so this start actually has its own little quest line. Go find wherever these places are. Neat. Oh wow, it's a tough start though, because look at your max speed. So you've got a tarnished reputation, meaning, let's see our standing. We have a...
Incoming message.
We don't know. We don't know what our standing is with everybody else. We have a 3 with the Rebellion. What was that? Oh, it's letting me know that the Lit Cube faction is out against us. All right, cool. That's a very weird start. I kind of dig it, though. Now, I want to see these Mandalorian ones. Those are the ones that really interest me. So let's go back down. There's the Black Sun. There's the Zan. There's the new Prospector, Deluded Scoundrel. Republic. Okay. New Republic Admiral is described as massive fleet. 2 years after the Battle of Endor, you command a large fleet to drive out the Imperial Remnant once and for all and restore democracy to the galaxy. What do they mean, massive fleet? There's a variant of this for the Empire that I'm sure we're going to get to and take a look at. If you want to start with like, it's like a battle group, like a patrol group for the Empire. So you kind of start off as an officer, kind of in the mid ranks of a fleet command. Oh, yeah, wow, okay. They weren't joking around. No, when they said you get a massive fleet, like you start with a proper, for a starting fleet, I mean, you've got the advanced assault ship, you've got an MC-30, you've got, what is that over there? A MC-40, and they're not bad looking models, by the way. Look at the MC-40. How cool is that? Assault ship, oh, there's a very particular, kind of the symbol of the Republic here. The Nebula Star Destroyer. I know a lot of people really love these. They've been bugging me about the Empire War campaign to make the New Republic so I can get these. Interesting. Interesting ships to start with. So if you really want to get an idea of like fleet command and you want to start off with something a little bit more A-Wings, you get like 5 Nova Cruisers, DP-20s. I wonder what he considers the DP-20 class-wise. You know? Is it an anti-missile boat? Is it a... And I can't look because it looks like it may have crashed. That's a bummer. I haven't seen any reports of other crashes. I don't think that one was listed as a... let's see, find it here. That one was the New Republic Admiral. Anybody's saying that this one actually crashes. But I wonder how many people actually start that way. One of my issues with this is I don't get to choose what my fleet like build out is. And that's kind of the fun of Lit Cube's mod, particularly, is building out your fleet and getting into fights and fighting it your way. All right, so we got massive fleet for the Imperial Remnant Warlords. Let's see what they've got. Now, the Convoy one is the one that I remember messing around with a bit. But this one says massive fleet, so we'll see. I'm guessing Star Destroyers, personally. Lots of Star Destroyers. Yeah, actually. We've got a monster of a Star Destroyer. ISD-2. That is not an ISD-2. That is. There she is. So that's going to be the one you're going to want to pop into if you want just a big fleet and get into some battles proper right away. Now, do you even start with enough cash to 20 million credits to keep the fleet operational? That'll be the real trick with starting with something like this, because I bet you don't start with stations. You get multiple victories, you get tons of TIE fighters to organize the fleet with, spread out between your gladiators, your dreadnoughts. Let's turn on the UI again so we can see what the heck's going on here. And let's see the, oh, he's even got the Vigil. This is a fan design. Oh, I love it. Nice. That's a tiny ship. Like if you zoom out comparatively. Victory classes are actually missile boats, and they have multiple missile turrets laden in the front, so they actually fire where they should be from. Let me see where they are. There's one right there. So get a little bit of a look at some of the ships too that you can get your hands on. Very cool. Very cool. Looking forward to trying to board one of these because I want one in the fleet as a rebel player. I think trying to like making a goal, a little mission objective to capture my own variant for the Rebel Alliance. Yeah, that'd be cool. All right, not a bad start. Where do you start out here? Very different. You can understand how like these starts fundamentally change how you play your game and how you kind of see your story as it progresses through the galaxy. Starting out as some kind of like low-end rear admiral of the Empire, taking the fight to the rest of the galaxy, or a warlord. In that case, with that size fleet, hell, I could see you even saying, "Oh yeah, this is my warlord start." But I think the more interesting starts are actually the ones that don't give you everything right away. So we flick through here, like Imperial Convoy. Light convoy tasked with delivering vital kyber crystals for the Empire's Project Stardust. See to it that your cargo reaches your Imperial mining outpost. Oh man, that's funny because there's actually an Empire War mission we've done in Awakening the Rebellion that is go and destroy this ship, moving kyber crystals. Hell, it was an episode in Rebels where they went after a Gazanti, if I remember correctly, transporting kyber crystals from Jeddah. So, oh, and it's straight up a Gazanti too. Nice. Now, this should be it's the Vanguard variant. And so you can tell it's got not all the Gazantis in the game, because these ships are everywhere, right? The pirates use them, the rebels use them, corporations use them. But the only one that can carry fighters that I'm aware of is the Vanguard version, which is the, I think, limited to the Empire. Not 100% on that, but I believe that's how it is. I remember Tryon was mentioning it in one of our streams, but yeah, it's cool to have a little group. Do you get a hyperdrive?
Jump drive.
Damn.
Not installed.
100,000 credits to buy a jump drive, which is exactly the amount you have. You wouldn't be able to buy fuel, so you'd have to go do some missions. But I like having, like, you're just the captain of a Gazanti with a small wing of fighters on a patrol. Good luck rising through the ranks and building up your fleet and your economy, however you're gonna do it. Whether it be through mining or exploration and combat, mission running, station deploying, building up a trading network, who knows, however you want to do it. But this is a really cool start because you get freight and combat capability because of the TIEs. Though bear in mind, they're TIE fighters. Like, you're not going to get a whole lot of work done with TIEs outside of maybe station missions. You're going to want to build that fleet up. 4 TIE fighters to 1 does not make a fleet. New game. So that was the Convoy, Empire's finest. As an Imperial ace pilot, you've been chosen to test the new TIE Defender, the result of Grand Admiral Thrawn's new fighter initiative. This ship, combined with your skills, will be a force to be reckoned with. I love that he's tied into the Defender project. What a great story of the higher ups and all of the bullshit that stops his project from really coming through. That could potentially have saved the Empire. But nope. Thrawn defeated by all the idiots around him. And yeah, TIE Defender. Weird. It's got two different weapons on its main weapon setup. So let's go ahead and kick on some engines, do a little bit of flying around. You don't get... That's kind of the neat thing with this. I like the balance. So with the TIE Defender, you don't get the speed and the maneuverability of the X-Wing. But man, do you pack a punch. Look at those weapons. X-Wing gets 4 forward-firing weapons. This doubles that. And you might not be as fast, but you're pretty freaking close. And I'll bet you anything this thing is tankier. Also, TIE Fighter screen. I do find it bizarre that you can't hear the engine noise once you're inside the ship. I think this is something with this new version. But let's look here. Yeah, look at those shields. You're also about twice, if not more, tanky. Depending on which variant of the X-Wing you're looking at. I think they have different shield potential. And that is max upgrade speed at 180. So if you're looking for a really, like, starting as an ace pilot, I quite like the Rebel start where you're starting as an X-Wing pilot. I can see this being the go-to. Oh, by the way, if you're noticing that, I can't really zoom in on it, can I? In my screen right now, you see this like 100% icon and it's kind of blurred. Make sure, if you enjoy playing in first person, you go to gameplay under the options. Actually, no. You go under graphics. Nope, lied to you again. Yeah, it's under gameplay. And you turn on numerical, turn that off, and suddenly you can actually use the cockpit readout to see how much shield and armor that you've got. That's what that is, though. I like these screens. I wonder, do these actually show? They do. They show your targeting information inside. Nice. Very cool.
Rehabilitation facility.
Yeah, it swaps out what it is. All right, so that's the TIE Defender. Oh, what money do you start with? Bet you start with nothing. 10,000 credits? But you do start with a jump drive. I just hit Shift J and it opened up the map. That means there's a jump drive there. Cool. Jump drive, hyperdrive. Jump drive is the X3 term for it. So you don't even get that with the Gazanti. All right, so new game. I guess the idea that a TIE Defender wouldn't have a jump drive is just silly. Oh, the Republic starts. Now, we're already getting a little far into this recording, so I'm just going to pop into a couple of these. Though I'll jump into the one that I think is the most interesting. Clone Commando for the Republic. If we load into this, this is one of the few starts that is built around the idea of boarding actions. And either if you're an old X3 player and you're really good at doing boarding actions, or you want to get into that gameplay right away where you're boarding enemy ships and taking them over, this one is built that way. You get if I remember it, an Arquintans. We'll find out in a second as it loads in. You get an yeah, there you go. You get an Arquintans Republic variant with the coloration on it. You also get, with all of its heavy weapons, right? Because like the thing with the Arquintans is that it's got 2 turrets that are bigger than would normally be seen on a ship this size. I don't know if that's true for the balance on this. I haven't actually used these ships or fought against them. But what you do get, if we go under freight here, you do get, yeah, there's some decently high ranked, I mean, not amazing, but not terrible either. You get all of these clone commandos in here. So you get 20 Marines, you get a maxed out cargo bay of them, and you can use them to go board enemy ships and try to take them to build up your fleet. You also get something else. I noticed there's another ship there. Ooh, you get an assault shuttle. I love this ship so much. I have a model of this thing sitting on a shelf somewhere. Freaking cool. I wonder.
Incoming message.
Like, what are you? Ion disruptors. So remember how we were talking about boarding? Ion disruptors are great for taking out shields. You need shields down to do the boarding action. And you have a ship that can literally be ordered to, hey, keep that enemy ship shields down. And so this thing is circling your target and ioning the crap out of it while your boarding party of commandos are boarding. That's very cool. Also, look at the speed on that, 163. It's not bad. Not bad for the firepower it gets. Does it get... Holy shit, and that thing actually gets its own set of relatively experienced clones. That is cool. All right, that's not bad. That would have been my second choice for a start for the series that we're doing over on Twitch right now. Very cool. All right, new game. Let's pop to maybe one or two more. We're getting toward the end, and I really want to see these Mandalorian ones, but we're just gonna scroll through these real quick. So, Republic, Empire's Finest, that's the pilot one. Wow. Start as a senator. You start with a transport, and it is a personnel transport. And I wanna say that this one is actually a Naboo transport. You also start with 1.5 billion credits. Establish monopolies, build a fleet, and dominate the economy. So 1.5 billion credits. Figure out how you want to play from that point on. So you gotta get around a lot of the, some might say grinding. Clone Commando, that's the one we already looked at. That was a boarding action one. And Ambitious Scrapper, an M5. Years of yearning to travel the stars. Piece together a wrecked ship from your outer rim planet and take into space. I gotta know what ship would you have put together as a scrapper? I have no idea what music is playing right now. It's weird. Just have Epidemic going ham. I have a few theories, but it'd be a Republic ship. And it was none of the ships that I thought it was. Oh god, it's a Skyhopper. Okay. That's right, we loaded this up during a stream. Skyhopper is an atmospheric craft. Last time I remember even seeing one of these playable in a game, outside of Empire War from a mod that makes it a flying unit for the pirate faction, for the Black Sun, was, I want to say Rogue Squadron, was one of the unlockable, like, secret ships you could get. This is an atmospheric craft. This thing is crap. This thing is awful. Do you even have any money? You start off with no cash. So you piece this sucker together on, you know, Jakku or Tatooine, flew out into space, and now you're on your own. Good luck. Do you even get any faction standing for anyone? Pirates hate you. That's it. Holy balls. That is the worst. Nope. That's your hardcore start. Right? Like, that's the one that I don't even know. I don't know who's the sadistic enough to start that start. All right, this is what I want to see. You got Mandalorian Outcast, House of Vizsla. So this is going to start you, I'm pretty sure, in a version of Slave 1, hence the M8. But if we load into the Arms Dealer, I want to see what that one starts you with and what kind of scenario you've got going on. Because the big ones, I believe the Kendo Sai is in this. Almost sure the Kendo Sai is in this, because I think I remember. You know, it was in the last campaign because it almost ran me over in my X-Wing. I remember that. There's some of the real nasty big Mandalorian, like those ones that have been around for 1,000 years and you just keep on trucking. They're in this. But you actually start with the YV-666. It's one of the bounty hunter ships. I can't remember whose. And by bounty hunter, I mean one of the particular bounty hunters. Is it Bosk's ship? Maybe. Somebody in the comments section will let us know, but you start off with 2 weapon manufacturing plants.
Pulsed beam emitter forward.
So you actually get a couple of space stations for putting weapons together. Cool. Looks like they don't have any of their supplies, though, so you're going to have to fix that. And, oh, weird, a couple of freighters. Yeah. Huh. Interesting engine setup there. Very Y-Wing. I don't know what that ship is from. And then the YT-1760, not a YT version that you see around often. Cool. That's a weird one, but very cool. And I wonder, do you start off with any weird 200,000 credits and you get a few points with the Mandalorians, which I think the Mandalorians ended up replacing the split. The rental Klingons. That's gotta trigger some people, I know it. All right, new game. Down to the bottom of the list. First Order Spy. Now, there was a Republic holdout. This is the one. All right. Please know to wait about 60 seconds before starting. So, I'm not too concerned with First Order Spy. Having defected to the New Republic, you work hard to maintain good relations despite your ultimate loyalty to the First Order. When the day comes, they will never know what hit them. You start off as the ATF. What? Oh, that's weird. That's real weird. That's kind of cool, I guess. No, the one that I'm interested in, though, we have to go back, because this is the weirdest one. Republic holdout. This, trapped by Separatist fleet and with no option but to fight through the blockade, you must put the Republic resources to good use in order to break through. You literally start this out with a rebel or with a Republic fleet surrounded by Separatists, and it's just combat. It's, I think he said that this start was meant to really kind of get a handle on how fleet control works. So if you want to just dive in and start practicing with ordering your fleet and leading them to victory through tactics and learning how the controls work. And really, it's all about the controls. And this is going to take a little while to load in because this is a fairly heavily scripted one with a lot of stuff that has to spawn in. You can see off on our left-hand side, though, while we wait for the script to do its thing, there's a Venator out there. 1, 2, 3 Venators, and it looks like 2 Acclimators. Just from their silhouette, you can tell what they are. But this should be a sector in constant conflict. I don't think the goal here is to survive and prosper in this sector, though that might be possible. I think it's more to break your fleet through and get out. Could be wrong, though. You might be able to hold out. You might even be able to defeat the Separatists and then take their territory. So if you want to have that Clone Wars feeling, this would be the one. They're not joking. You have to wait the whole minute. I might even edit this. Oh, there we go. We're loaded in. Oh, and we start with the Pelta, and I'm guessing it's not the combat variant. It is the combat variant. The way you know, look at the wings. If they've got a bunch of engines on them, then it's the modified Rebel version. The Pelta Raider is what they've decided to call it. This was not something that was around really during the Clone Wars, but I am not gonna argue if they wanna give that to you as your command ship for the fleet. Let's see, what do we start with? So far, and I think the script is still running, all we have is a bunch of prototype ARC 170s.
Prototype.
Which is a favorite for, I know, a lot of people. The ARC 170, the long-range bomber and scout. Or super heavy fighter, I guess you could call it. It's a neat fighter. My wing's better. Fight me. Now, what else we got? Stuff is still loading it because there should be a lot more than just this, because this is supposed to be like the combat mission. Let's kick on the engine, start moving away. Oh, it's got what? It's weaponized the wing sections. Interesting. Start pulling away.
No aim.
It's like this most epic music that Epidemic decided to play as we're flying over.
Debris.
I can get behind that. What is this?
Teladi space equipment.
We get ourselves a central equipment dock as one of our starting structures. I think that's under our control. Yes, it is. Now I wonder, maybe actually did spawn everything and it just gave me enough money to buy all of the things. 75 million credits. Okay, interesting. Oh, so you start
Incoming message.
with Welcome Republic holdouts. And all right. So what it looks like is that the Separatists, like, this is a Republic space, but you don't control all of the ships. They're just kind of here. And then the Separatists are gonna come and, yep, cause trouble. Here they come. Didn't take long at all. All right. A attack group of Separatist ships. I'm gonna go ahead and speed up time because they're not gonna be moving very fast. And they may be gathering more troops to come and attack us with a larger fleet. Let's see what the, oh, there we go. With their arrival came the arrival of our own fleets. What I'm gonna do is, just so we have a really cool little moment here, I'm gonna tell all of my ships in sector. So broadcast all ships in sector. Basically all ships in sector. I want you to attack my target. I've ordered them all to engage the Dreadnought. The Dreadnought has engaged the Venator below it. And so the battle has begun. So if you want to get right in, or, you know, even better, if you want to try to find out if the game can run well enough for you to play it with these mods installed and with the big battles going on, this probably isn't a bad save to jump in and try. But that poor Venator is getting opened up, at least by the main Providence. It doesn't look like the escorts have gotten in firing range yet. And where are we at? Because I ordered the entire fleet to engage, so my fighters should already be making their way in. We've got Z-95s as well, and they're closing in. I broadcasted to all. So it looks like it does take it a little bit longer for the rest of the ships to get in. Ooh, who's gotten in firing range? Somebody has. I see a lot of incoming fire from that Venator, but I don't see a lot of outgoing. Let's check on... Y-Wings have arrived and are already en route. I've told everyone to fire at the Providence. All right, no, the Venator is opening up. You can see a few rounds. Maybe its fire rate is a lot slower. Let's see how the arcs are doing. There they are.
Prototype.
Arcs are moving in. Oh, wow, you guys flying close enough to each other? We've lost one of our Z-95s, lost one of our Z-95s. One of the things you don't want to do is just send your fighters in right away. Make sure that the enemy is paying attention to somebody else, right? I thought the Venator actually would be taking up all of its attention, but maybe a cluster missile decided to wreck him. There was a firefight. He is just crawling behind you and firing into your side.
On behalf of Chairman CEO,
how are we doing?
The Talati Company are grateful for your timely
bring the Providence
help
in.
The saving of much profit. As a reward, you get 500 credits.
As a reward, you get 500 credits. Let's get in there. Oh, we lost another Z-95. Who's that? Oh, he's dead before I could even lock him.
Typhoon missile.
But if we turn off the UI for a second, give you a look at what's going on over there. The frigates have opened up. The Venator is starting to exchange fire, and the rest of the Republic fleet is arriving. And I imagine this will be a constant attack, right? Like you'll get these waves that just come in, which could be great, because that means you're gonna get a lot of salvage, especially if you're really paying attention to your units.
Prototype.
Why did all my arcs decide to switch targets and go after that? Go after that frigate. I told you all to engage that Providence class. Oh, it might be because I switched targets. Am I in firing range? 7 kilometers out? Maybe.
You are being
Target that size. Oh man, I like the new Pelta. You can see all of our missiles going in from the BTLs just behind. Get them. Oh, you know what we should do? All turrets. Attack all enemies. Apparently we've got turrets as well. Yeah, this new version of the Pelta is way cooler. We're gonna take this guy out. Oh, he started to return fire. He's going up.
tornado missile.
Evasive. One Separatist battle cruiser. Battle cruiser? Frigate down. All right. Broadcast to all ships in the sector. Attack my target.
Command accepted.
Engage, engage, engage. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this random quick look at a fantastic mod, checking out all of the new starts. I hope your quarantine and everything going on in the world right now is going okay for you guys. Stay safe. Enjoy some good gaming. Say thank you to your mod authors, as they're just doing this stuff because they enjoy it, and that's pretty epic. I'm gonna be doing some more spotlights like this, kind of revisiting some older mods, to remind you guys that it's out there. If you're looking for something to do, looking for something to play, there's a lot of great content out there made by some very talented people. See you all in the next one. Later, everybody.